Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK Rock and Metal channel, and today we are going to be checking out a band called Within the Ruins. We're going to check out the new video that came out today. It's called Castle in the Sky. I don't know much about this band. It came through on our PR watch list. So like to check out some of them every so often we get them, especially if they do an actual music video rather than sending me a lyric video, because that automatically gets put in the bin, straight to the recycle folder. So if you send me a lyric video to review, it ain't going on the channel unless it's something we really like, a local band or something we really want to check out. If it's just a general band, I'm not.
You want to guess the genre?
I have no idea. I haven't checked it out. Metalcore.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
What a guess.
Also metalcore as well.
But tell you what, please, in their can I just say to the PR companies, can you stop saying this band is genre defying, or defying genres?
Another one. Genre bending.
Genre bending. Fuck off. They're not. They're not. They are really.
We don't know. We've not listened to it.
I've listened to so much crap recently on like these PR, and not ones we're reviewing, but I've listened to them. I'm like, they are breaking barriers. Fuck off, they're not. They're just recycling other. They've just taken some random shit. Talk about how to trigger me. There you go. Anyway, PR companies need to be a bit more honest. They're just taking some two types of genres, shoving them together, and throwing them.
Publicists. It's their job to use hyperbole and try and convince them.
But you know, me and Kirk read so many PR press releases that we're like, fuck's sake, really? Stop sending us the same press release. Yeah. Right, here we go. Within the Ruins and Castle in the Sky. So we're going to do the first 1 minute stop, which would have been a lot easier if they hadn't wasted the first fucking 45 seconds. Right, Kirk, thoughts on that first intro start?
Yeah, 3 cliches at the beginning. Number 1, it starts with an arpeggiated synthesizer, which all metalcore bands do nowadays.
Yeah.
Number 2, that vocal effect that sounds like he's at the back of the room, which I hate, and they're not going to be able to do live, which leads to cliche number 3. When they play live, they're going to have to use a backing track. So, atrocious start to the song. Although I did like it as soon as the stereo drums came in and it went heavy and started headbanging. But the guitars were not loud enough. But plenty of good aggression there. But what a waste of 45 seconds. Completely agree with you.
Andy?
Yeah, that intro. I mean, I'm not going to sort of pick up on all the cliches, Kirk, but I'm sure you're absolutely right, because it's not a genre I'm particularly familiar with. But that sort of solo vocal intro went on far too long. We haven't heard enough of the sort of main body of the song for me to really sort of really pass judgment, but I'm enjoying it so far. But like you, I've noted down the vocals are too loud rather than the guitars are not too quiet, but that needs to be addressed. Well, I'm sure it won't be addressed in this song, but if it was addressed, it'd be certainly much better.
Yeah, the levels are really, considering I keep the levels the same for every time we play a video, this feels much louder than everything else that we've played so far video wise. And yeah, the balance needs to be kind of a little bit, definitely drum heavy and vocal heavy, but the guitars just seem to be lost a little bit. The problem is with a music video, if we weren't doing a review and I'd just come across this and I'd played it, I've already got I would have started it, and within 20 seconds, I would have grabbed the slider and just dropped it forward to like 2 minutes in to find out what was going on, because I'd be like, you've lost me in the first 30 seconds, you've lost me in this video. I think he's trying to tell that element of the story about depression. I'd much rather there was no singing or anything, and you just had 10, 12 seconds of just focusing on that guy, having a drink, feeling low, and then just kicked into the song. You'd have got the same message. You don't need him sitting there in a darkened alley somewhere, getting all flexing his muscles with a synthesizer going, talking about Castle in the Sky. Just doesn't need it. It detracts from the rest of the song. Now that it's kicked in, it could have easily just gone straight to that section, and it sounds great. We'll see where it's going to go. It feels like there's a lot of aggression here, but I think that intro, as you said, Kirk, I don't know how it's going. They're going to have to do that weirdly live. I think they should just drop it from that in the live point of view and just kick into that bit where the drums kick in. Makes a lot more sense to do it that way. But let's see the rest of the song. As the solo's about to kick in, do you know what? This reminds me of local guys. If it was like if Kodama and Sentient had a baby. There's elements of both those bands. You can hear the technicality of the Kodama and the sheer brutality of the Sentient guys. You imagine just them guys like merging in and becoming a super group. This is the sort of stuff that they would just kind of be producing. It's aggressive, it's heavy, it's got some loads of technicality going in there. I'm sure there's going to be a load of freaking sweep picking shit going on and all sorts of other sort of stuff in this solo. But yeah, it just sort of popped into my head when I was like listening to it, going, there is definitely some of our local guys that we've heard this sort of thing from. But yeah, let's go to the end. Is this band having an identity crisis at the moment?
They've turned into In Flames at this point, haven't they?
They have. We've got like elements of like Dream Theater-ish style solos. Mike Pucciani. I'm like, what is going on here? They've gone from sheer aggressive metalcore to some random solo. That to me, it's a 5-minute song, by the way, and you know that I'm going to be saying this at the end. There's a good 3-minute song in here. Just get rid of the fucking solo. It doesn't make sense with the other part of the song, in my opinion, already.
He's just showcasing his talents. Yeah, so showcasing his talents is really detracting from the whole song. And I'll say at this point, this lead guitar tone and the melody that he played earlier on, it's just too nice because there's almost
perfect production
in the the verse of the song and the vocal delivery, but this is just too flouncy.
Well, it's like there's this bit he's like doing like a da, 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 da. That's basically Avenged Sevenfold. So they are really going into the Avenged Sevenfold area here. But the problem is the part of the song that was before this was so much heavier. His vocal delivery, it's almost like the vocalist has gone, fuck, what do I now do in this bit? Because this doesn't, it feels like two completely different songs going on at this point. And I'm not, I don't like it. I have to be honest. There's nothing wrong with what's going on with this solo, but I just don't like it as part of this song. Don't know, Kirk?
It's just, to be honest, I actually quite like it. Once you take out that intro, and I thought this was just going to be trite, which is another way of accusing someone of using cliches, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it actually, it's avoided the main cliche. There's not been a soft, whiny emo chorus. I'm looking at the
that's true.
They wouldn't be capable of that, which is good. The production, though, as Andy said, there are no imperfections. So I know that sounds ridiculous, but it can, when you're just reliant so much on Pro Tools and quantizing the guitars, this is what you get. It sounds good on record. I guarantee this band will not sound like this live. And people dislike that as a criticism, but come on, fucking hell.
Bigger drums as well, Kirk. You say about sort of overreduced and whatever. That again, I didn't like that passage.
Nothing wrong in this, is there? And it's meant to have a background in hardcore. Understandably, it's got the showmanship of heavy metal, and I do actually like the solos. This is not as bad as I feared it would be, this song. Let me make it clear. I've enjoyed certain parts of it. I just don't know what to expect for the next 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
I mean, considering we're 3 minutes in, we don't normally have this such a reaction where we're quite passionate one way or the other. We're usually a bit more vanilla in our responses. This is really kind of like quite, I don't like this. No, I like this. It's interesting for it to have got this sort of response from us. So who knows what's going to happen in the next 2 minutes.
Metalcore band.
Let's do the rest of the last song. Okay, there we go. So Within the Ruins and Castle in the Sky. Kirk, you can go on first on this one.
This band do have pedigree. I've just been looking at which record labels they've been on in the career. They were on Victory Records for their 2010 album, which was the most respected label for this type of music. Do you know what? We were criticizing PR companies for saying this is genre bending, it's breaking boundaries. That actually was. Near the end, that was Beethoven over breakdowns. Listen to the neoclassical scale runs that they were playing. So fucking hell, I'm so confused by that song. I detested that intro. I just thought, here we go, another mix of gent and deathcore with the synthesizer at the beginning. Pleased to say they actually second guessed me. There was no clean chorus. It was absolutely brutal when it got going. And these guys are from Massachusetts, so they're going to be hard as fuck. You wouldn't criticize their music to their face, shall we say, because they'd probably get you in a headlock. But I'd need to listen to that 2 more times, but I don't think I'd want to. That's the problem.
That's an interesting way of putting it, yeah.
There's just so much going on. And you would not know that this band had any origins in hardcore. The production spoiled the song, really. It could have been a lot better. They would never be able to replicate even 40% of that live. The drums, Jesus Christ, just get a drum machine in to do that. Lifeless, the production on the drums. So when
Fenriz... you probably use all triggers.
That's it. So when Fenriz of Darkthrone says how he hates the modern drum sound in metal, he's talking about music like this. However, there were a lot of redeeming features and there was a lot of imagination in there. So, as you pointed out, you kind of have to have an opinion on this song, don't you? Because it does so many things and drags you in so many different directions. So I'm befuddled by it. I probably enjoyed 50% of it, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay, Andy?
Dave, a bit like you with Spirit Box that we done earlier in the session. I don't hate it. I don't particularly like it either. It's kind of, it hasn't sort of made me feel it one way or the other, but there were some positives. I like the video, the sort of the performance element, the sort of lighting, that blue light and the location of that, and in the cut with the sort of story elements as well was good. Vocals were by far the best part for me. Really, really good vocal delivery, powerful masculine vocals, but not anything special. You know, he'll have dozens of peers, you know, and he's not standing head and shoulders above any of them, but excellent vocal delivery, but nothing distinctive. But he did give some subtle variations at times. There were passages where he was enunciating the lyrics sort of a bit more, and you could hear what he's actually singing. He wasn't sort of reining back the aggressiveness a little bit, which was good to mix up a bit. But no, there's elements of Lorna Shore towards the end, you know, when the synth came back in, and as you said, Kirk, you're not going to reproduce that live. And you know, the main sort of negative for me was that sort of lead guitar tone. It just sounded too clean, too poppy, too high up in the octaves. You know, just seemed so out of place compared to the sort of the rhythm guitar and the drums, which weren't great, as you said, but not something I'm not going to listen to again. But video was quite good. Really like the vocals.
Okay. Well, I'll wrap this up. So I actually really like the track.
What?
So I am gonna, as we got to the end, and I could start to try and work out where the structure was going, because when we were doing like we stopped at about the 3 minutes. We had 2 minutes left. When I got to 4 minutes, I'm sitting there thinking they're throwing everything apart from the kitchen sink at this at the moment.
Yeah.
They are literally using loads of different breakdowns. They're doing lots of different things. They're doing different things on guitars. They've got like classical elements going in. We've got the singer who's basically doing an Alex Terrible Slaughter to Prevail vocal delivery. I'm like, okay, I can see where they're going with all this. And I went, the reason we've got such an adverse reaction to it is because this is a song that is not designed for you to appreciate on one take.
Yeah.
I think you have to listen to it, and as each time you listen to it and you learn the structure and you learn the vibe of the track and you know what's coming, you can vibe and flow with it. The problem is we're trying to flow with a track that we just didn't anticipate. So it's just hitting us and it's like, oh, what the hell was that? What the hell? And it's annoying us because we don't have a fucking clue what's happening. But all the elements were really strong in it. They were just not what we were expecting. It was just catching us off guard. And I actually got to the end of it when there is absolutely nothing wrong with that song, and there's lots of power in there. And I think if I'm in the mood for something that I want to get pumped up about, if I'm in the car and I've just been cut up by someone on the road, that's going to make me break the speed limit probably and go chasing with a crowbar, because that's going to give me that vibe. But if I wanted something that was more chilled and then I'd go for something else. Now, if I wanted them to be standardized, I could take a 5-minute song and just cut and paste it to a 3-minute song, and it would sound like a Slaughter to Prevail track. You could just cut it down nice and simple, make it a bit more hardcore, easy. But what they've tried to do is they've tried to be overly clever, but I think it only works if you listen to it more, maybe 3 or 4 times, but not back to back. You need to go away for a day and then come back and listen to it again, and then come back the next day. And I think by the time you get to the 5th time, that's going to be in your head, and you're actually going to really appreciate that track.
I didn't expect the neoclassical part in the last 2 minutes. That really.
There was a lot I didn't expect about this track. But as you said, there wasn't the clean vocals. There was lots of power. There were some wasted moments, and that intro, they really just should. I really wish they hadn't done that 45-second intro. That just doesn't work. But overall, actually, I actually really enjoyed the track where it went, and will be a band that I will go and check out. So there you go, Within the Ruins and Castle in the Sky. Now, if you enjoyed our video today, please do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the video sometime very soon.